again to make sure KO does get ahead in that lane, ban away the Osiris and pick it up for themselves, or do you see them taking away the Morrigan this time and leaving something like a Sol or a Kronos open for a cheater?
I think they should take away the Morrigan, because 2 Bat Out of Hells, that, as you said, it's damage that you can't defend against. It's untargetable. You can't kill him unless you have Tex, but in that case, like, he's already low enough, you might as well kill him. So
we do see Khepri and the Morrigan taken away by Kanga. I really like these bans. Khepri, I think Direwolves played the Khepri 5 out of 6 of the CGPL games.
Okay.
So I was very strong ban there. We see it.
Yeah.
See how much work it did for them in that previous game. Not necessarily the ultimate, but the ability to chain their CC so smoothly and able to lock down characters when they're out of position was just so strong for them. Osiris gets taken away from Direwolves. No surprises there. No one wants to play against Osiris at the moment. Just an absolute monster.
Definitely not.
Wouldn't be surprised if maybe a Ravana ban, unless they're looking for it maybe for themselves.
Yeah. If they do, they would 100% put it into the jungle, because Kiki, he's not bad with Raven at all. It's just Ro is a whole lot better in the jungle, and he's able to play that damage role as Raven. Okay.
They do ban it away,
all right.
So.
Thanks, Darvels. So the thing about Khepri is that last game, Kanga put 3 ultimates into him while his ult was up, and he revived.
Yep.
And Darwolves capitalized and just killed the backline. So I think
not only did they throw the ultimates into him, they then tried to chase the 2 frontliners tried to chase down
rather than turning around
while during the revive animation. So rather than peeling for their mid laner, maybe Swifty didn't realize he was going to get burst that quickly, or didn't expect them to come out of the jungle that quickly.
Yeah.
But that tunnel vision really did cost them, and that was kind of the turning point of the game. Is they were able to get so much map control off of that pick, get a couple of kills as well in their favor, and it did so much work for them. But first pick Kronos.
Yeah, so interesting. He's got a couple changes. So his Wheel of Time is now attached to his 2, and his new passive is 2 power per minute of the game, up to a maximum of 70. So if we see an hour and 10-minute game, he will be 70. Wait, 70 power.
35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Yes.
Where did I get that from? Okay, so
New Zealand maths is a bit funny.
Yeah, we don't have proper education.
Only got internet. That's all you got.
That's why I'm play-by-play. So Ganesha and Camazot's next. So Camazot's obviously was very strong. If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? So Rogue, comfortable.
Yep.
Ganesha, though. What do you think of that?
Obviously a really strong pick. So much objective control with those Dharmic Pillars and space control as well. Decent lockdown with the Ohm, being able to silence in a team fight and just cause utter chaos due to that. Decent early clear as well. Yeah.
Increases protections on that Ohm.
Exactly.
And the ultimate, just massive AoE and a slow and a damage. So there's nothing wrong with him. The thing with him is that he's got no engage. Sure, you could use that ultimate and then dash, but it's not as surprising as, say, like a Blink Glib.
But then again, Khepri's not really an engaged god either. Khepri is a lockdown god.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be abducting for initiation. It happened a few times where the players were out of position, but normally, generally speaking, Khepri's kind of more your peel and setup and lockdown off of someone else's initiation. So that's why they had the Bologna for that initiation, as well as the Camazots, not to mention the Morrigan as well. But interesting picks here from Kanga. They've now got Kronos, Erling Shen, and Sol. So Kronos or Sol probably going over to the Hunter lane.
Yeah, I would say you're right there. Sol ADC, not as good as Sol mid.
I think it would be Kronos would be going to the Hunter role, if anything. Just able to kind of sustain a bit better. I mean, Sol has decent sustain, but she brings a better team fight ultimate than what a Kronos does. Kronos is able to kind of just box for days and then rewind if he needs to.
Exactly.
Whereas Sol brings that the knock up with the supernova and the huge damage as well. Not to mention Stellar Burst on top of that.
Yeah, it's the AoE damage that she's got more of, and because mid is so busy, I mean, why not put her there?
Yep.
So we got a Toth coming through for Direwolves. Interesting, up against the Sol. How do you feel this lane is going to go? Toth obviously got great amount of poking, good, amazing late game damage. I mean, probably the best mage late game.
It's going to come down to timing the ultimate with Soul's Disapparate, when being able to call out when that disapparates down. The damage immunity from that. Any god with immunity frames is super strong. So that's why we've seen the Camazot's played.
Yeah.
You can avoid so much damage and deal it out yourself.
Yeah.
Soul isn't able to deal out the damage while she's in that Disapparate form, but just being able, your mid laner being able to take themselves out of the fight, not take any of the burst damage and reposition themselves is just so strong. That's why we saw the nerfs to Aegis, where carries were able to reposition themselves without being slowed or crippled, slowed or rooted in place.
Yeah.
Taking that off the Aegis now means you can't just walk through the line without being CC'd in place by the other team. So we've now got a Fafnir and a Sun Wukong, and Fafnir with a Soul and Chronos terrifies me.
Yeah, I mean, you put a Shogun's Kusari on there. Yeah, attack speed is going to be through the roof. They don't even need to rely on attack speed items. Maybe you could get a Demonic Grip because attack speed mage items were hit heavily this patch. So you rely on that Fafnir, you rely on the Shogun's Kusari, and you got the attack speed, but then your abilities and your magical power scaling is through the roof because you've got that power instead of attack speed items.
Yeah, that Coerce is just such a strong ability for any basic attack god, even non-basic attack gods get a bit decent work out of it. You've got an Erling Shen that can also pick up a Shogun's Kusari, also scales well with attack speed, so you often see a chin size if they're far enough ahead on an Erling Shen. So able to deal out so much damage, bring so much to a team fight, not to mention CC, again, immunity frames if you time it right on that ultimate. A little bit vulnerable coming out of it, but this is what I'd like to see, this a wheelish pick as well from Kanga.
Yeah.
Envisioner is very flexible with his jungle picks. Doesn't really get locked into one particular place.
He plays basically everything.
Pretty much. He's happy to play anything that fits his team's desired comp.
Sure.
Really strong to see. Rama now being picked up for Mingyu as well. I want to see how this matchup goes, whether the pressure that Rama is able to provide for Direwolves is able to outweigh what happened for Kanga last game. Sorry. You've got Ganesh to help out with the clear.
Sure.
So you're not relying on a Geb clear, which is what the large issue was last time.
Yeah.
And I want to see what the starts are like in the jungle for Direwolves.
Because they're on the Chaos side now,
yeah.
Which means it's, I mean, sure, it's not any different, but...
Well, we'll be able to see as we head into game now. So see where they do rotate over to. Early wards coming down here for Direwolves. See a cheater again, tier 2 on the Book of Toss this whole quick.
He'll go into Swift Wing's second item. He'll do it again. So. I feel like this is what he is
Seems
making
to be his desired build.
Yeah.
Let's see, not a whole lot of surprise items.
Look at that though, solo lane, proxy.
Yeah, looking to proxy or maybe just put a little pressure, but KO takes a lot of poke as a result. And this is before the waves have even got there. And Rose now over here as well. They need to be really careful. They're really trying to shut down Kikyomiya, but at what cost? Yeah,
the level 1 is a bit stronger from Kanga, but I don't think it's not worth taking all that damage. He was forced to use a pot as well, so his sustain is not as good, but look how many health potions. He's got the chalice and he's got 2 health pots, so he's sorted.
Just fine, yeah.
He's sorted.
Be back to full health, and he already is. The tuner takes a little bit of damage there from the Chronos, but they do start on their own red buff this time after clearing not actually clearing the duo lane yet. So invade on speed though, so a lot of pressure already from Direwolves, a lot of map control, but invade onto the blue buff. Again, this seems to be Kanga's strategy. They just want to shut down Kikyomiya. They need to do something with it this time, though. Especially on Sun Wukong. I would say he's not as strong as an Osiris, but he's certainly up there. And it's all because of that Guardian Shield. 2% health and mana refresh on an ability, and when your combo is so quick and so powerful, you can survive through basically anything. Damage back and forth. Envisionize locked down, forced to use that bracer, and will he go down? Will he? No. Oh, Bluestone, not enough. Envisionize will survive through that. He was at least at 10 HP. Yeah, he was very low, choosing to stay around, got some pots, and decent damage going back the way of Ro, but Kiki's here. for his jungler, make sure he doesn't fall down either. We've got a decent, still hanging around in this solo lane. Both junglers not willing to back off just yet. We've got a fight breaking out in duo lane at the same time. Decent poke being thrown both ways.
Yeah, so I think the level 1, why they didn't go for the enemy red buff was because they didn't have the Konernos AoE passive basic attacks to be able to clear it much faster. Envisionize able to pick up first blood onto Kikyo. That is the reverse of last game. Direwolves still having that weakness in that solo lane.
I'm not sure if it's a weakness. I think they rotated over there to see if he could get a pick early onto Envisionize. Them not expecting him to be there just yet, but I think it's just camp solo. Sporks gets taken pretty low here in the duo lane though, and so does Gallon.
Yeah, Mingyu going for it. There's a sprint pop to help save Gallon. Will he be able to pick up the kill? Yes, he will. Mingyu picks up the first kill there for Direwolves here in game 2. Evens it up 1-1, almost 3 minutes into the game. So speaking of the game time, Chronos. So 3 minutes, 6 power already.
It's free power. I'm not going to complain with free power. Another god that I'm excited to hopefully see played this weekend is our Kwong. Another passive change.
So good.
And it's not free power, but it's pretty easy power to achieve in the early game.
Yeah.
Kiki gets a little bit poke backed again after just rotating back from the base. So, camp solo is working so far for Kanga, but Mingyu now has all this pressure in the duo lane again.
Yeah, going for the snipes, misses 1, hits 2, misses 3, so inconsistent. There's a stellar burst, but Mingyu is, I want to say, you can't really say tanky enough, but he's got the sustain to live through that 2v1. Will he go through? I'm expecting him to dash forward to try to pick up that kill because aggression is the middle name of Ram when it's in the hands of Mingyu. There's the stun onto Envisionize, uses that bracer, heals up. He's got that Suku movement speed and he just gets out of there. Goes for his speed as the elementals are picked up by the Direwolves.
Yeah, Spox will hear that though and might look to contest. Swifty here to try and help out, and they do manage to pick up their own speed buff. A ward placed down there as well for Direwolves, so they'll have that timer. Mingyu rolls away this time. Gallon managing to send a bit of poke his way. Stellar burst just off the mark though.
So this Soul in the ADC lane, how do you think it should be played compared to what we're seeing?
Honestly, I as we said at the start of the picks and bans phase, I expected Chronos to be over there. You get free power and you get left alone in the Hunter lane most of the time these days. Don't see many rotations from the jungler, unless the gold tree is maybe up. They might float over that way from time to time, but Kiki gets gravity surge here, picked up by KO, so another spill for Kiki, and camp solo is going pretty nicely so far. Yeah,
I mean, Kanga know exactly what their strat is, and that is destroy Kiki before he can do anything, and it seems to be working already in this game. But as we saw from the previous game, the rest of the map for Direwolves was strong, and we mentioned it post-game that they're able to spread it across the map. So maybe we'll see some changes in Kanga so that they get Envisionize and KO ahead and then spread it across the map.
Yeah, they don't manage to pick up this tower just yet. They are hanging around to see if they can poke it down enough and get that map presence, which they kind of lacked in that last game. They got the lead, but they didn't manage to get the tower too early, and it allowed Kiki to stay into the game, but KO takes a bit of poke here in return.
Oh, KO almost getting taken down. We lost our vision. We are back. All right, so Kikyo is able to pick up a kill onto KO. Now, Swifty is the next target. He's already used his ult. Ro is able to pick up that kill. He's taken low. Tori Skies in that draconic form thankfully transforms back under the tower. Sometimes you do see Fafnir's mistime it and they
get stuck out in the middle of the lane and just die as a result. But I think we see there the difference between a Chronos rotating to the solo lane and a Sol rotating to the solo lane. When things go awry, Chronos can rewind, sure, but if you're running away and you have to rewind, you go back on the other side of the enemy team, and you got nowhere to go at that point.
Yeah, sure you can pop the 2 for the movement speed, but you're
you
already
get a
in the
stun off
territory.
maybe, but
Yeah.
it's not enough to peel for yourself, and your team's so far away from you at that point. They almost get baited back in to try and save you.
And then they're dead as well.
They're dead as well. So, whereas the Soul with Disapparate just runs away. Doesn't take that extra damage on the way out.
Moves through everything,
Moves
obstacles,
through everything.
players.
So, I think it's a little bit of a downside to the way they've drafted here is KO gets taken low again, forced to ultimate to keep himself alive and turtle away. Gets the nice heal proc there, but
I think Kiki and Ro definitely would have gone for it had they had their ultimates. Had they have their ultimates up, but they didn't. Still on cooldown from that previous fight, but they're just showing the dominance that they do have whenever they're 2 versus 1. Stealing away the speed buff from Envisionize now. Sporks does get stunned up, and then the time ref coming through. That's 1 ultimate actually coming from Soul. Look like 2, but no. Kiko Mio does get knocked up. There's the ultimate coming from Envisionize. Uses that too, and he is able to pick up a kill onto Kiki. And now a Ro. Double kill for Envisionize. A Wheelix already sitting at 3-0-1, but Mingyu is able to pick up a kill onto Tori Skies. That's the support down for Kanga. At the end of all of that, it's a 2-for-1 trade.
yes, but we talked about Ro and Kiki looking to assert their dominance on that side of the jungle, but punished for it immediately by Envisionize and the full rotation from the rest of the team as well. Coming in, making sure that when they lose their speed buff, they don't get away for free. And then they go and steal Direwolf's speed buff as a result. So it's all well and good to assert your dominance over that side, but Kanga now starting to respond to it and say, well, hey, hold on, we know how to play this game as well. And they get that kill, they get a double kill onto Envisionize. A Wheelish from ahead, so strong. Got a Swift Wing online, now has the Warrior Tabby as well. Going to be doing a lot of burst damage. A Wheelish, if you don't know a Wheelish, you get Feather Steps, you have no health left.
Pretty much. And if you got it on that 3rd basic attack proc, then it will do AoE damage, so everyone in the area will take that same amount of damage. So you can't be near a target of a Wheelix.
Yeah, it's very difficult to peel in a Wheelish if you don't have hard CC, or if she times that Feather Step. Again, immunity frames, harp on it again, immunity frames are the strongest thing in Smite because you can't take damage.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so what's the best CC? Is death. You can kill them,
yeah.
right?
That
so
is the best CC.
If you can survive through that, you just turn around and kill the enemy. So
That's it.
Problem solved right there. Already we can see 5 Swift Wings on the board again.
Yep.
Direwolves having an extra one on the solo laner, whereas KO not opting to pick that one up, goes straight for the Guardian Shield.
Yeah, the Gladiator Shield there, always a
Gladiator
strong, strong pick. You got that 10% cooldown. It's only 1,700 gold, and it brings you sustain. But again, he's gone with the teleport, and I'm yet to see the full value in it so far, as he's putting a bit of poke and keeping Kiki under tower in the solo lane, but he needs to be a little bit careful of overextending and getting rotated on. Even with the 2-level lead from both himself and Envisionize over Kiki and Ro respectively, does need to be careful of the punish, because the cheater will eventually rotate, or they'll go and take the Gold Fury while K is unable to get over there. Hasn't upgraded that teleport just yet, so he won't be able to get over that side of the map as quickly as what Kiki will if he comes out of base.
Trades coming out. Mingyu taken very low, up in the skies, but Galen is in that Disapparate form and uses the Aegis. That's 5 full seconds of immunity. 1 snipe does land, but isn't able to pick up that kill. Envisionize is now rotated over, so is Tori. Will the stun land? No, it won't. There's Sporks to peel for him as well. Tori Skies using their ultimate for the immunity. Refreshes his cooldowns as well, so they could re-engage if they want to. Rose here. There's Envisionize. He is taken extremely low, and he does get picked off by Ro. Low and Ro seem to be coming through.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot.
Ro takes him low, picks up the kill, you know, that happens. But that was the downside of a Wheelish there, though. And Portal Demon gets stolen by Kiki here as well.
Yeah, and there's the taunt coming through, but Swifty kill steals right there. Gold Fury started up here for Direwolves. So losing out on the Portal, actually, Kanga losing out on the Portal Demon and the Gold Fury. It looked like that was a steal coming from Galen, but unfortunately,
close. Just off the mark on timing, but
and it's difficult to do that, especially against a Toth.
It is. Ultimate used to secure it. Although I think it was actually burst, so maybe a little bit of a waste of the ultimate. But strong map control again from Direwolves. I liked the call from Kanga to go for that Portal Demon while the fight was breaking out in duo lane, knowing that they couldn't rotate over there, be there in time. Cut their losses on that side of the map, try and grab the Portal Demon, but Kiki sniffs it out, steals it. Now has a Gladiator shield of his own. Falls as a result, but if I'm Direwolves, I'm screaming worth that entire time.
Yeah, 100%. The two minor objectives, you could say, you've got Portal Demon, Gold Fury, and the only major one that you want is the Fire Giant, but you're not going to take that at 12 minutes unless you're, you know,
unless you deicide the
strong.
other team.
Yeah, unless you're much further ahead than they are. KO 4-man rotation, what is he going to do to deal with this? There's not a lot you can do. Kiki is able to pick up the kill there. Envisionize watches on in sadness, watching his solo laner die, but he can't really help. It's 4 versus 3, even if the mid and support rotate over.
Yeah, it's twice now, though. As soon as Direwolves take Gold Fury off the board, they're immediately in the solo lane.
No.
As Envisionize gets picked up again in the solo lane, they're able to put the pressure on that side of the map now, and Kanga aren't responding to that pattern where, okay, Gold Fury's off the map. They have the audio queue now. Snipes coming down just off the mark to pick up Galen. Swifty's here to try and put some pressure back onto Mingyu himself.
Yep, uses his beads, dodges the time rift, so he only takes the 1 proc of damage from the stop time. The second proc is when you get the stun, but if you beads it, you don't get the damage. So, not a very effective gank. Sure, it popped the beads, which is great. Now, Torry Skies can come in, he get a full disarm duration, a full stun, and Galen can possibly pick up the kill. But what's the level difference? He's 1 level ahead, which is not as strong as last game, but it's still fantastic for Mingyu.
Yeah, Mingyu, obviously really comfortable, very aggressive player. Will always look for those 1v1 engagements. We've already seen him take Galen solo and force Aegis's just on his own. Really feeling himself so far in this land setting on the Rama as well as the Xenos last game. But still a level lead for the 3 core on the Fire Giant side of the map. We've got KO, Envisionize, and Swifty all still ahead, despite those recent falls and the recent Gold Fury and Portal Demon losses. But again, KO's pushed up in this lane with Gold Fury down. And
no vision. His vision is way back by the speed buff and in between the Fire Giant, but uses that ultimate, dashes away, so he'll be okay. Torry Skies rotated over just in case he needed that support. In a 2v1 situation, KO would be able to sustain long enough for Torry to come over and help. Envisionize looking for Mingyu. He's up in the sky using those snipes, lands 1. Going for 2, not going to land, 3. So he was up in the sky waiting for that support to come along. So Sporks could position a lot better, make sure that those Dharmic pillars were down so that Galen couldn't push forward to help pick up the kill. He uses his ult and hardly any damage is down. Ochita looking for the kill onto Envisionize and he will land it. Massive damage coming through from Ochita. He's so far ahead. Galen using that immunity frames to get out of there. Torry Skies rotating over 2 as a Swifty.
Yeah, so a few ultimates burnt on each side, but in the end it's a 1-for-0 trade for Direwolves, and I'm a little worried about the calls here from Kanga. I'm not sure who's making these full commits sometimes to fights, but they're just staying a little too long and being punished as a result, and it's kind of been the story of the 2 games is a little bit of lack of map awareness, a little bit of shot calling, maybe just a bit off point, but still strong at times. They're definitely still in this game, but no means are they out of it. It's a very close game still, but it's just, if the trend keeps going that way, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
another problem is that they keep rotating a little late. So Galen has already ducked down behind his tower at 10% HP, and then Torry Skies and Swifty have come over, while Mingyu is already back halfway down the lane, so they're not getting anything from rotating anyway, so they need to come earlier when the fight has started, or, I mean, initiate one themselves.
Yeah, maybe just an earlier rotation. Gold Fury is about to spawn, Portal Demon's already up. So that will be the next point of contention by the look of things as Sporks dashes in, tries to lock down Torry Skies.
Yeah, there's the knock up onto Sporks, Draconic form as well, so nothing too major, they're not full committing. There's Mingyu dealing that massive DPS to Torres Skies. He is able to pick up the kill. Somersault Cloud up in the sky is Kikyo Mio, but Ro picks up a kill onto KO. Snipes coming through. 1, 2. Will 3 land? Yes, it will. Double kill for Mingyu. And this is massive for the Direwolves. They've started up that Portal Demon. Swifty was in the mid lane that whole time. What was he doing?
Just unable to get into the fight. They took the fight 3v. It ended up being 3v5. They didn't realize Mingyu was rotating in. Came in through a channel that was unwarded. Galen pops the supernova and Achita immediately throws the divine shot.
Oh my god!
Just
dude, that damage.
Obliterates Galen.
He was max HP.
Yep.
And now he was.
He was. Yeah. Now he's in base.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's having to sit down for 35 seconds. So Supernova used aggressively against Achita, and Achita just responds and goes, okay, well, here's some damage for you. Wiped completely off the map. Tory Sky's taken low now as well. Swifty catches Sporks, but not a lot of damage.
Gold goes to Direwolves, so there's nothing here for Kanga but the fight. They can't lose this, and Vision Eye's already picking up Sporks. That's the support gone. Massive damage from the Time Risk coming through, but Mingyu with the DPS is huge, and it does take down Vision Eyes, who is the massive carry at the moment. 4, 5, and 1 now. Swifty taking too much damage from Ochita, and he picks him up with the Hieroglyphic Assault, Draconic Form, to zone out Kiki and Ochita, but Bat Out of Hell does not take any damage from it when you're up in the skies. And KO is the next to fall. Overhand smash. That's actually the magic cudgel, but it does look like an overhand smash.
Wrong monkey, that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Manages to pick up that one, does Kiki with the jiggle bang. Yes. I wish there was a Hunbats in this game. I love some Hunbats
Same,
play.
dude.
Yeah. Hunbats, Sun Wukong, just always fun having the 2 monkeys on one team.
It is. It is. All right, so 17-7 is the kills, 18 minutes in the game, so we need to pay attention to that because Swifty, Book of the Dead, he's got lifesteal, he's got that health shield whenever he's healing past his max HP, plus a Spear of Desolation. 18 minutes, how much magical power does he have? I need your calculations.
18 minutes, so I guess that's 36 power.
Yeah.
2 times 18 is very difficult.
I know, it is. I'm from New Zealand.
Yeah.
We don't have an education.
No, there's no math in New Zealand.
No.
Yeah. Only got sheep to count.
We rely on half-decent calculators. Actually, no, we've got abacuses.
Yeah,
We're still way back in there.
Oh, yeah. That's what I like to hear. Love me some good abacus. Not a lot of damage here from Achita. Tory Sky's forced to use the hammer. But,
oh.
Goodbye.
Okay. There's not much you can say about that. Toth is just so strong. 4, 0, and 8. He's got Obsidian Shard. He's got a max stack book of Toth, his own book.
How can you lose if you've got your own book?
It's an autobiography.
That's it. That's bad.
He's almost finished Rod of Tahuti as well. He needs 1,700 gold in hand to finish that one off. Galen taking too much damage, forced to back out of there. Not much they can do here. I mean, the carries are just so far ahead against Direwolves. How do you defend against that?
It's gone in the last 5 minutes. It's gone from a 1,000 experience, 1,000 gold to almost 6,000 now in the favor of Direwolves. And it's just been Kanga caught out of position time out and time again, and it happens again. They're now 2v4 in this mid lane. Sporks gets the Gravity Surge, but it's not enough damage to take down a support at this point.
Yeah, in a row. In the back line, dealing so much damage to Galen. He can't do anything. Bursted down. That's 1 DPS gone already. Swifty trying to help with his damage. Kikyo Mio is taken down to about half, now 30%. They can't chase because look, right around the corner is Sporks, and it is Ochita. Tory Skies does get a stun onto Sporks, but that's the support. You don't want to kill him. You want to kill the carries. Look at Ochita. He's by himself still, and they just run straight past him, going for the kill onto the support. KO is able to secure that one. There's the Aegis popped by Swifty, and he does go down. So that's 3 kills for 1 in favor of Direwolves. A double kill for Ochita now. Looking for the 5th one. Envisionized. Dashes forward. Does he get the stun? No, he doesn't. Suku keeps Envisionized alive, but 4 for 1, and it's just the support. Direwolves are so far ahead.
It's the tunnel vision yet again, and Envisionized coming over here to gank Mingyu, but he just Aegises and obliterated again by that evade and punish.
There was a 3-level difference between him and Mingyu. So there was no reason for him to fight. Oh my god, dude. Why is that allowed?
Yeah, that should be illegal.
Yeah, it should be.
That's outlawed in all the other states. You've got Mingyu out of mana, yes, but it's a hunter that's out of mana with an active up, and you don't have any ward vision, and you knew that direwolves were in that area of the map. And Cheetah just hung around to make sure his hunter was going to be okay. They take a tier 2 in the duo lane and the mid lane now as a result. And Vision has... I don't understand that rotation. Yes, he's out of mana. Yes, you might be able to kill him, but what do you get out of that kill? You get a bit of golden experience, sure, but you have no map pressure off it.
And they've got no wards at all. There's literally no wards.
Well, they can't ward at the moment. They're just dying.
So what I always think about a team's skill, right, is you can have vision, right? But a true test of a team's skill is how they play without it, right? So
map awareness.
Yeah, they knew that direwolves were there, and he still went in 1v1, 3 levels down, with someone else coming around the corner to help.
That's it.
So there was just absolutely no reason whatsoever.
And then in the previous fight, we saw, you mentioned it, KO's diving Sporks to pick up the kill on a Ganesh, who's, at the time, I think level 13.
Yeah, already used his whole kit, so...
And the Cheetah's just sitting there in the mid lane, just throwing out damage. And then Ro comes back and deals out even more damage.
There's the girdle popped already. Torry Sky is the first to fall in this fight. Ro's now unstoppable. 7 kill streak. Aegis popped by Galen once again, but Ochita, a hieroglyphic assault, he's unstoppable too. Silenced is Envisionized. He can't get over the ball. He can't jump. He's taken extremely low. There is Ro picking up a kill onto 1. 4 down already for Kanga. He can't, Swifty can't do anything. Mingyu with a double kill in this fight. 2 of them unstoppable. Full deicide, a double kill. 8 and 1 is Mingyu. 0-2 and 21 is Sporks.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where it's out of control again. I think even saw a Surrender Vote come out there. As Direwolves pick up the Fire Giant. Looking for the Portal Demon here as well. But that's the great thing about Kronos. Great when you're holding W and running at people. Yeah. And then you can ult away. Yeah. When you're behind and you're getting chased down, again it's happened where he's used his ultimate, but he goes into the middle of 4 Direwolves players who are just sitting there waiting for him, and it's great aggressive God, has always struggled from behind until he could reach late game, but there's not enough peel on the side of Kanga to keep Sol, Kronos, and Awilish alive. And they're just being picked apart. Again, it's the same thing as happened in Game 1. They got picked apart in these mid to late game fights. They did very well in the early stages of the game, but they're just unable to find anything after about the 15 to 20 minute mark.
So what do you think it is? Is it just the prowess and the knowledge of Direwolves coming out in this late game that they just know exactly what they need to do, and they know how to set up from the early game even though they are behind?
Yeah, Direwolves obviously have more experience playing from behind, so that they're not going to mind it being an even or even a small deficit on their side, because they have the confidence in themselves to carry through in the late game. But it's just, again, Kanga had that pressure in solo lane as Torres Skies gets taken really low here, forced into the Draconic form. Girdle popped, manages to escape though. Yeah, it's quite surprising he stayed alive there, but using their ultimate defensively. Never mind. Mingyu hits the snipe, takes down Torres Skies in the middle. Alright, so Direwolves are so far ahead at the moment. Divine is Ro. He's 9 kills in. Phoenix going down. Ochita picks up a kill onto KO, but this seems like the end of it. Double kill, triple kill for Ochita right at the end. Game number 2. This is going to be it. Direwolves will be moving up the bracket, and Kanga Esports going to that losers bracket, facing off against the loser of Legacy versus Skyfire, which is our next matchup. But strong performance from Direwolves. Kanga strong at times, but hopefully they can fix their resolve and firm themselves up for the next set. Not out of it yet. That's the positive. Yeah, double Elam. They did play well at times. That's another positive. Drafting phase, maybe a little bit of tweaks that can come out, and we'll see that in the next set. In their next set when they come up next. But Direwolves just look so strong yet again. Yeah, I mean, we keep mentioning it, and it's so huge that the solo lane gets behind, but that doesn't phase them at all. Kiki is just like, all right, I'm behind, I'll play under tower, or I die under tower, it doesn't matter. I'm not bothered. Just kind of sits there and he waits for the rest of the team to make those smart decisions to set up the rest of the map and then rotate over once
they're in a position to be able to destroy KO, even in a 2v1. They'll never be able to 1v1 them though, which is a huge shining light for Kanga. Like, your solo laner is so good. Just play around it.
Yeah, use that pressure on that side of the map to get something elsewhere, or even bait something out of Direwolves.
Yeah.
I think map awareness, we've harped on it again and again, but both games, first Gold Trio goes down, KO's clearing the wave too close to the solo tier 1 tower and gets picked off because there's a 4-man rotation, because they don't have to worry about losing Gold Trio if they rotate now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them be a bit more aware of what's happening with the map. They have those global sound cues now. It's not like they have any CSO, we didn't have vision, we didn't know Gold Trio was down.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will be going to a 20-minute break. We will be setting up the next match, which is Legacy versus Skyfire. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.